Before we start creating an article, we need to get some photos together. I've created a temporary photo folder here, and I've just put some temporary pictures in that we can use in articles. Now, these photos are, well, this one's 5.87 megabytes, this one is 12.1 megabytes. They're large files, and too large really to go to be feeding into a website if you want your website to be running fast. So we're going to reduce this size of these without degrading anything for the website. First things though, you might want to adjust your photos. Windows, by double clicking on a photos window, should open this photos editor. You've got to edit up here on the right, go adjust, don't use the enhancement. Press light. It doesn't need to be any lighter than this. Contrast, always add a little bit of contrast, it gives it more punch. Exposure, I'm not so sure about. Yeah, there, some highlights can bring in some detail. Shadows will lighten shadows, but I think that will do. And color. Now this is the main color here, this bar. You can add more color, and you can also get rid of, if it's a grey day, it will have a bluish tint, and you can make it more yellowy this side. Don't really need that this time. Clarity, this will sharpen things up a bit, make things a bit sharper. Vignette will give you a dark around the edges here, like an old photograph. I'm not going to use that. Now we need to go to crop and rotate. Well, I'm going to crop this down there, that will do, and done. You can flip, rotate and do aspect ratios with this as well, so you can play with that. And there's the picture that I want. I'm going to now save this. You can save it as a copy, but I'm just going to save it back into the same file, and then close this. Now instead of that larger picture, we have this. This is already reduced in size. It's down to 1.6 megabytes. Now we need to go to Google, and the link for this compressed JPG I've given to you, or it's in this the file. Upload images, and we choose temporary photos. You can select them all by holding shift down, click that one, hold shift, and they're all selected. You can open them all. It will now upload. Image quality we'll leave at 90%. Resize for our purposes, for articles, they don't need to be any bigger than 600. You can leave this as 0. Leave the compression as normal. Compression method is C, so leave that where it is. This is finished loading up. Now we can compress the images. Right, successfully compressed 22 megabytes to less than half a megabyte. Now we download them. And we want to save the file, go OK. This will go into the top here at Firefox, which you can open. Here they are here. You can double click on it to open these, and these are your photos. Now you might not have WinZip, but if you haven't, there are free unzipping programs on the web. I'm hoping that you'll be able to do that. If not, contact me and we'll go through how you can do it. Now I'm going to get my zip files, and I'm going to overwrite these because these are copies anyway, I'm going to overwrite these pictures here, replace the files in the destination folder. Now all these files are ready for articles, and you can see, hold on, refresh. Let's refresh this folder first. There we go, 74.6 kilobytes on that one, 100 kilobytes on that one, 110 kilobytes, 40 kilobytes, and 110 kilobytes. So we've reduced them down, but the photos themselves really haven't lost any definition. They're still good. They still look good, and they will go nicely into a website without having to load up megabytes of data for nothing.